Hello dear students. In the last class we were discussing oxo acids of sulfur, in which we had seen about sulfurous acid, means H2SO3 is its formula, sulfurous acid. The difference between sulfuric acid and sulfurous acid, H2SO3 is sulfurous and sulfuric is H2SO4, OUS suffix and IC suffix. In our previous lectures, I had made it clear that if suffix is IC, higher oxidation state will be there, means SO4 will be there, and in OUS it will be O3, means lower oxidation state compound will be there. Okay, I had given the example of copper, like cuprous and cupric, right? Similar here also it is there, like that only, same sulfurous acid and sulfuric acid. SO3 for sulfurous means one oxygen is less, and IC H2SO4 one oxygen is more. Okay, so we had studied its structure, its basicity. Similarly, we had studied the structure of H2SO4, its basicity. Both are having same basicity. See, you can observe that both third oxo acids of sulfuric acid is having same basicity, means all of the three are dibasic in nature. See, pyrosulfuric acid or disulfuric acid, how it is made? By doubling or by taking two molecules of H2SO4 and minus H2O, we will get H4S2O8. Okay, then pyrosulfuric acid, from this H4S2O8 we will minus H2O, so from H4 it will become H2, S2 will be like that, and O8 minus one oxygen molecule, it will be H2S2O7, and its formula is two sulfur molecule is there. So first we will draw our first structure. So one molecule compulsorily will contain OH group. Now remaining 7 are there, so obviously 3 will be occupied by sulfur, and for second molecule also similar structure we will write sulfur with one OH. See, OH group, one OH you should give compulsorily for any structure of oxo acid, and then remaining valencies. See, sulfur will have 6 electron in its valence shell, so 1 OH, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and this oxygen is common for this sulfur also, so it will be OH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this one 6. Okay, this oxygen is common because O7 molecules are there, so 3 here and 1 common, 7 oxygen, 2 hydrogen and 2 sulfur. Okay, another name is oleum. This will come in preparation methods of H2SO4 also, oleum. There also we are going to read about, come to know about what is oleum, where it is, how it is formed in the preparation of sulfuric acid. Till now I hope this topic was clear to all of you. Now next topic. So our next topic is oxygen and compounds of oxygen. Oxygen is also known as dioxygen. Why? Because two molecules of oxygen is there, O2, so we can pronounce it as dioxygen also. Okay, one and the same thing. So first part is preparation. All of you know that firstly we can, in atmosphere we get oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. Its reaction is when X number of water molecule combine with X number of CO2, carbon dioxide, in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, we get carbohydrates and oxygen is released, right? X molecules of oxygen, CH2O X. Okay, CH2O X molecules is nothing but carbohydrate. Okay, general formula of carbohydrate is given here. So here in atmosphere we can get oxygen from the process which is known as photosynthesis. Everybody knows it. Next process is laboratory method. How we can prepare oxygen in lab? So first method is by thermal decomposition of oxygen rich salt, right? thermal decomposition of oxygen rich salt. In this, first we are taking potassium chlorate. For this, you should know the formula of potassium chlorate. Potassium ClO3, KClO3. K is potassium, ClO3 is chlorate. It is in solid state, so we are writing the suffix S. When heated in presence of manganese oxide, MnO2, it decomposes. See, thermal decomposition is there, so heat will be there on its arrow. Either heat symbol or heat you can write. In presence of catalyst MnO2, it gives 2 KCl molecule plus 3 molecules of oxygen. Right? Balancing part you have to do by practice. Main product is potassium chlorate, potassium chloride, and oxygen gas is released. This is a salt, potassium chloride. In solid state it is precipitated and oxygen in the form of gas is released. Okay, thermal decomposition of potassium chlorate. Second is of potassium nitrate, KNO3. Right? KNO3 is potassium nitrate. K is potassium, NO3 is nitrate. On heating, it gives KNO2, that is potassium nitrite. Okay? See, remember the formula of nitrate, NO3, and nitrite, NO2. Again, oxygen in the form of gas is released. Here, in lab, we can obtain oxygen like this. Next process is from potassium permanganate. Potassium permanganate, MnO4 is there, it is permanganate. Okay, potassium KMNO4, its name is potassium permanganate. On heating, it gives K2MnO4, MnO2 manganese oxide, and oxygen gas again is released. Okay, this is dipotassium permanganate. Okay, this is potassium permanganate. This is dipotassium permanganate. Manganese oxide and oxygen gas is released. So this is the first method, thermal decomposition of oxygen rich salt, in which potassium chlorate, potassium nitrate, potassium permanganate on heating gives corresponding salt plus oxygen gas is released. Next method is by thermal metals. See here what happens. Thermal decomposition of oxides of metals. Here we are dealing with metals. Oxides of metals. Which metal? Silver metal, silver oxide. Before going to the explanation of paramagnetism, we will see some of the chemical reaction with metals. How oxygen reacts with metal? Everybody know it will form its corresponding oxides. Right? Oxygen directly react with almost all metals except, see, exception is there with gold, with platinum. Okay? Gold and platinum are exceptions. Oxygen directly do not react with gold and platinum. Other metals it directly reacts and form corresponding oxide. So first example is of calcium. Calcium on reaction with oxygen will form CaO, calcium oxide. Aluminium on reaction with oxygen will give Al2O3, aluminium oxide. All of you know calcium oxide, CaO, aluminium oxide, Al2O3. Okay, simple. Next is reaction with non-metals. Oxygen also reacts with non-metals, and here exception is noble gas. Right? In the P block element, noble gases come. So oxygen do not react with noble gas. Obviously, noble gases are inert, and non-metals also form their corresponding oxides. So most common example is carbon. Carbon on reaction with oxygen will give CO2. And with phosphorus, when phosphorus exists in the form of P4 molecules. When P4 molecules react with oxygen, it forms P4O10. Okay, compound name you have to remember, it is phosphorus pentaoxide. Okay, P4O10 is nothing but phosphorus pentaoxide. So these were the two reactions with metals and non-metals, and with some other compounds. See how it reacts. Simple reactions are there with oxygen. First is ZNS, means zinc sulfide. Okay, with zinc sulfide, oxygen on heating forms zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide. Right? Both the members are reacting with oxygen. zinc also and sulfur also. Zinc oxide, sulfur dioxide. Here it is nothing but your methane. Any of the hydrocarbon you can take. Okay, any hydrocarbon you can take, but most simple I am taking here methane. When react with oxygen, it forms CO2, carbon dioxide and water. These are all nothing but which type of reactions? Combustion reactions. Now when sulfur dioxide gas reacts with oxygen, here it requires catalyst. Which catalyst? V2O5 is nothing but your vanadium pentaoxide. It forms sulfur trioxide. Dioxide getting converted to trioxide. Next, HCl when reacting with oxygen in presence of catalyst CuCl2, copper chloride, it forms chlorine plus water. Okay, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water, and chlorine, it in the molecular form it gets evolved. Okay, in the gaseous form. Okay, so these were the some of the reactions, first with metals, then non-metals, and with some other compounds. Oxygen reacts very easily. So our next topic is uses of oxygen. Very simple uses are there. From your own also you can write, but here are some of the examples where it is used. First and foremost, for respiration. Without it, no one can sustain life on earth. So for respiration, to sustain animal and aquatic life, as well as human beings should be written. For respiration, to sustain animal and aquatic life. Okay. Also, oxygen is used in the manufacture of steel. See, compounds of steel are there. Okay. For that also, oxygen is used. And also it is used in oxyacetylene flame for welding and cutting of metals. Okay. Acetylene combines with oxygen to form oxyacetylene flame for welding and cutting of metals. Okay, welding and cutting of metals. Welding everybody knows. Oxygen cylinders widely used in hospitals, high altitude flying and mountaineering. Right? In hospitals we are using oxygen cylinders. At high altitude also for flying and in mountaineering there also oxygen cylinders are used. Okay, everybody might be knowing these uses, but then too I am taking. Then combustion of fuels, where in hydrazine in liquid oxygen provides tremendous energy in rockets. Okay, hydrazine in liquid oxygen. In liquid oxygen, hydrazine is there, which provides tremendous energy for the rockets to fly. Okay, or to take off. So combustion of fuels. In combustion of fuels also, liquid oxygen in the form of liquid is used. So these were some of the common uses. Many more you might be knowing. If question is asked of 2 marks, write the uses of oxygen. You should by heart these ones, or you can write with your own also. Okay. Now one question for you. During our query session, I want the answer from this, from all of you. Why water in the fish pot needs to be changed time to time? Okay. Why water in the fish pot needs to be changed time to time? I want this answer from all of you. I hope you might be knowing. I want correct answers. Okay, this is the homework. If you are not able to give, then I will give you. Now our main topic, which was dioxygen is paramagnetic in spite of having even number of electrons. Explain. Okay, this question is IMP. Very, very important. It is asked. For this, we should know what is paramagnetism. Paramagnetism means paramagnetic behavior is seen in the elements which shows unpaired electron in their valence shell. Okay, unpaired electron in their valence shell. So how this happens, we will see. So for this, a new term is there. I think you might know MOT, that is molecular orbital theory. Okay, according to MOT, molecular orbital theory, a new electronic configuration is given in molecular orbital theory. Configuration of oxygen become. Before this, I will write down what is the normal configuration of oxygen. You know, oxygen with atomic number 8, it is 1s2, 2s2 and 2p4. I will write this 2p, 2py and 2pz. So 8 electrons are there. So how we will fill? 2, 1 and 1, right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this is the normal electronic configuration. Till now you might be knowing, but according to molecular orbital theory, this electronic configuration changes. Molecular orbital theory takes into consideration bonding and anti-bonding factor, okay, and sigma and pi bonds. So simple for time being. When you will study MOT chapter, you will get the details of this there, how bonding, how anti-bonding orbitals are formed. Okay, for now just remember sigma bond and pi bond is there. Everybody knows sigma bond and pi bond, and this sigma bond can also form sigma bonding and sigma anti-bonding, and this pi bond can also form pi and pi anti-bonding. Okay, sigma bonding, okay, B I will write, and sigma anti-bonding is denoted by the star mark. Similarly, pi bonding and pi anti-bonding is denoted by the star mark. Anti-bonding denoted by star mark. Okay. So in these shells, we have to fill the 8 electrons. So for 1s orbital, see, for 1s orbital, 2 electrons are there. Okay. So first it will form sigma 1s2, right? Sigma 1s2. Similarly, its anti-bonding will be there. Okay, sigma 1s2 and sigma anti-bonding 1s2. Okay, this much for 1s orbital is there. Electronic configuration, sigma 1s2 and sigma star 1s2. This was for 1s2. Okay, sigma bond. Other obviously it is s orbital, so it will only form sigma bond, it will not form pi bond, and so we will not go for pi bond for this orbital. Okay. Next, second, for 2s, it is also s subshell, so it will also show only sigma bond. So here for 2s we will write sigma 2s2 and sigma star means sigma anti-bonding 2s2. Sigma 2 bonding 2s2 and sigma anti-bonding 2s2, right? So second one we had written for 2s2, sigma 2s2 and sigma star 2s2 means star means anti-bonding. Okay, bonding orbital is there, so anti-bonding orbital will also be there. Okay, so for 1s and for 2s only bonding orbitals will be there. Now for px, py and pz, one of the orbital will be sigma and 2 orbitals will be pi, right? One of the orbital, any of you can take. In books it is given for this p orbital. Okay, I can write this 2 here also and I can write this 1 here also, because any of the subshell can take up the electrons. So for writing this configuration we will be taking, see here, sigma 2pz2. Okay, any of the one you can take. So here it will be sigma 2pz2. Okay, this 2 electron is going in 2pz2. Here I will make a correction for you so that it will become easy. In x I will give 1 and in z I will give 2. Okay, 1, 1, 2. Any of the subshell can take, but in books it is written for sigma 2pz, so I am writing that same configuration so that there is no confusion. Okay, so sigma 2pz2, according to the energy level it is given, how the filling is there, we will see the energy level diagram. So sigma 2pz2 is there. Okay, sigma 2pz2 is there, so its anti-bonding will also be there, so it is coming, okay, afterwards because it is having less energy. So sigma, no, sorry, it is having more energy. So sigma 2pz2, after its filling comes pi 2px. Okay, pi 2px2 and pi 2py2. Okay, pi 2px2 and pi 2py2, and then its anti-bonding. It is having equal energy, so they are shown by equal to sign. Okay, I will put bracket here, sigma 2pz2 and pi 2px2 equal to pi 2py2 because they are having this pi, both the pi subshells are having same energy, so equal sign is there. Okay, now again pi 2px1 star means antibonding equal to pi star 2py1. Okay, and then again the antibonding of 2p sigma star 2pz, which is empty, so 0. Okay, so once we will count the number of electrons, see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 is there, but during filling these are the antibonding orbitals, right? These are the antibonding orbitals, and these are of what? Total 16 electrons should be there because we are taking O2 molecule, right? Total 16 electrons should be there because we are taking O2 molecule, so there should be total 16. See, 2 4 6 8 10 12 14 15 and 16. Okay, we are talking about O2, so therefore 16 electrons should be there. Both the oxygen molecules are contributing electrons, therefore, okay, once again I will explain this configuration. First, for 1s2 it is sigma 1s2 and its antibonding will be there sigma star 1s2. Okay, s orbital is there, so only sigma bond will be there. Then secondly, 2s2, here also it is s orbital, so it will be sigma 2s2 and its antibonding sigma star 2s2. Then comes sigma 2pz2, okay, sigma 2pz2, and then comes according to the energy level pi 2px2 equals to pi 2py2. These are bonding, all bonding, okay, and pi orbitals are having same energy, so therefore equal to sign is there. And then comes pi star 2px1 and which equals to pi star 2py1, and then sigma star 2pz0, 0 is given because it is empty. Here 16 electrons are completed, and so this subshell is empty. I hope this electronic configuration is understood by everyone. Now we will see how the energy level diagram looks like. See, I will give a photo of this energy level diagram to all of you after the lecture. See, molecular orbital energy level diagram of O2. This is one oxygen, this is another oxygen atomic orbital, and the forming orbital is O2 molecular orbital. Okay, one oxygen atomic orbital, another oxygen atomic orbital, and this is O2 formed by both the oxygen molecule, from overlapping of orbitals. So first we are showing 1s2. Here 1s2 orbital of one oxygen and 1s2 orbital of second oxygen. See, 2 electrons are there, so we will put 2 electrons. Here also 2 electrons are there, so 2 electrons. So at particular energy they overlap, so that's why this type of structure is given, means energy will become less. For what? For sigma bond. Sigma bonding 1s orbital, 1 electron of this oxygen, 1 electron of this oxygen will come. And in this anti-bonding 1s orbital, another electron of this oxygen, another electron of this oxygen comes. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Okay, total 4 electrons contributed by both the oxygen atomic orbitals. Getting everybody? Now second energy level, about this only you have to draw that. Okay, lower energy is of 1s, and then comes the energy of 2s. Again it is 2s2, 2s2, so 2 electrons of 2s, 2 electrons of 2s. So 1 electron of this electron of this 2s orbital comes in sigma 2s, and 1 electron of this 2s come in this sigma 2s. So 2 electron. So now remaining is 1 electron of this 2s2 orbital goes in sigma antibonding 2s, and fourth one electron comes from 2s2 and goes in this sigma antibonding 2s2. So total are 4 electrons. See, 1 2 3 4. So 2 electron goes in this sigma 2s and 2 electron goes in this antibonding sigma star 2s. सेम है, 1s का भी और 2s का, दोनों का भी सेम है, राइट. 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करना है हमको. ओके, lower energy of bonding and higher energy of anti-bonding. So sigma is understood, I think, 1s and 2s. Now comes a bit complicated p orbitals. For 2px, 2py and 2pz, see again I am also having like you only habit of writing for px 2 electrons, py1 and pz. Here also 2px, 2py and 2pz. So in p orbital how many electrons we are having? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In another oxygen atom also 1, 2, 3, 4. So total of 8 electron we are having here. So from any of the electron can come, but according to the energy level sequence we have to write. This sequence you need to learn. So lower energy is of 2pz. Okay, sigma 2pz. So one electron will come from this oxygen and one electron will come from this oxygen. Okay, 2 electrons are contributed here. So here we will write sigma 2pz2. Okay, now after this, in the electronic configuration we had written pi 2px2 and pi 2py2. Pi 2px2 and pi 2py2. So one electron from this and one electron from this for 2px. Another electron from this oxygen and another electron from this oxygen. So again pi 2py2. Okay, one electron each of the oxygen atom will give. So total how many electrons are completed here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in bonding orbitals. Now comes the part of anti-bonding. We are having here total 8 electrons. 6 are gone. Now remaining are 4. Okay. Pi star 2px, pi star 2py means anti-bonding orbital. One electron will come here and another electron will come here. Firstly, parallel filling is there according to the Hund's rule, and then only pairing take place. Right. So here only remaining are, out of 6 only 2 electrons are remaining. So this will contribute 1 electron, and these are unpaired. Okay, this unpairing contributes to the paramagnetic behavior of oxygen. Okay, this unpairing of electron in its pi antibonding subshell contributes to the paramagnetism, and this sigma star means sigma 2pz2 and sigma antibonding 2pz is empty, so it is written 0. Okay, now getting everybody a short revision once again. For 1s orbital, see, first we will write off 1s of both the oxygen, 1s2 total electron 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 electron in sigma 1s2, another 2 electrons in sigma star 1s2, right? Then comes 2s2 of both the oxygen, sigma 2s2 of both the oxygen, and sigma star 2s2 of both the oxygen, because 4 electrons are there. Now remaining 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons. How it will come? According to the configuration. First 2pz2, then pi 2px2, pi 2py2. 6 electrons will get here, and out of 8, 2 are remaining. They will occupy in antibonding orbital and they form paramagnetic, and hence they show paramagnetic property because of this unpaired electron. If it would have been paired, then it would have shown diamagnetic. But here both the electrons are unpaired and therefore oxygen shows paramagnetic. Okay, so this is the configuration and explanation of molecular orbital theory. According to molecular orbital theory, how oxygen shows paramagnetic behavior.